Yeah, so I was thinking about how, wanking can lead straight to death, or, most of the way. Anyway, because, that happens, my girlfriend was away, and, I found myself having a wank. And then, all of a sudden, it was like I'd been hit in the face by a hammer, and I had some kind of fit and started being sick everywhere. And then I don't know what happened for a while, but then when I came round, I had the incredible pain in my head. Anyway, it was very early in the morning, and I had to wait for half an hour and then walk up to the doctor's surgery. I couldn't see anything because I had the light was really blinding me. Anyway, I got to the doctor's, and I told the doctor, I said, I've had a brain hemorrhage. And the doctor wasn't convinced at all. She was like tapping me on the knee and on the elbow with a little rubber mallet. And she said everything's working, you probably just caused some infection. I was in agony, and like I say, I could hardly open my eyes at all. And she wouldn't have it. And I said to her, because I think if you've got a philosophy degree, it's important to tell people about it, So I said to her, I said, I read philosophy, I studied philosophy and philosophy of science, and they say that for any situation there's a test that shows either way. I said, are we doing the right test here, like banging away at my elbows? And she said, oh no, the test is we look in your eye, and where the optic nerve enters the eye, if that's distended, then you've had a brain hemorrhage. So I said, well, why don't we do that? And she looked in my eye, and I remember she said, ooh, because it was really distended. And I was banging the table going, that's it, I had a brain hemorrhage. But she still wouldn't have it. And she phoned somebody up and came back and said, no, that can't be it. So she sent me away, and I spent a week with a woolly hat on, but with ice packs underneath it. I remember I went to visit my mother, who lives a few hundred miles away, and I was lying on the couch all week with these ice packs on my head. Anyway, the funny thing about the story is, exactly a week later, my girlfriend was away again. I think she was going to some training thing, same time each week. Anyway, you never guess what I did. And the same thing happened. I had a brain hemorrhage, and I had another fit, and I couldn't see, and I had a pain in my head, like, the worst pain I'd ever had. But I got to the doctor's, I almost crawled there, and she still wasn't having it. And in the end she said, I'll send you to Homerton Hospital, but I'm not getting you an ambulance. So I got a taxi, went to Homerton, they did an MRI, and then they just said alarm bells going off everywhere, and they threw me by hospital down to London Hospital. And anyway, they operated on me, on my brain, later that night. I think it was the next day. And the funny thing is, I did die because I had a vasal spasm where all the blood stops. But I had a giant aneurysm in the centre of the brain, in the circle of Willis, anyway, which is near the centre of the brain. And when they started the operation, the blood cut off to my brain for so long, I said I was effectively dead. But then I came round again the next day, and then they gave me a few weeks. And anyway, they were pretty sure I was going to die. And I'm not sure what the moral of the story is, but I suppose the question on your mind would be, well, was it all worth it? But who's to say?